I am Otis Roper.
I am Brandon Roper.
And together we are still
the Super Roper Brothers.
We got to go to our first premiere screening of any film ever. We want to give a shout out just for going to get to see Into the Spider-Verse 2. This was it was great because I got to see it with my family, but it was more awesome because I got to see it with straight up comic book geeks and nerds just left and right everywhere. Want to give a shout out to Elite Comics. Yeah. I got my first copies of Spider-Man 2099 from you guys, and I still have those to this day. And so special shout out to them. What do you think about the night?
Well, it was great. I had a lot of fun. We got it because of Jessica Porter, a friend of ours.
Dressed as Spider-Gwen.
Yeah,
we saw you.
It was nice. It was nice. Sean Edwards was there with Casey Fox 4. He does a lot of promo stuff. He's doing the Kansas City, the Juneteenth Casey Mo Festival is going to be through them.
I was supposed to play harmonica for you, bro. I couldn't do it. Maybe we'll get it.
Yeah, we'll get it the next
some other time.
Yeah, but it was a great thing to go in there and be part of the crowd that gets to go in and see the movie, before it premiered. That's new for us because usually, we watch them just like regular folks because, we ain't got all that bread yet.
But see, we moving up in the world. On the premieres. You know why we going to premieres now? Because you're liking, you're sharing, and you're subscribing.
That really does help.
Add to the success of this success.
Yes.
So thank you. I'm just going to wait here while you do that.
Yeah. Just going to wait here, huh? Just going to wait.
So wait right here. Just staring at you. Uh-huh. You're making it awkward.
Yeah. Friends become
You're making it awkward.
Enemies become friends? All right, so Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the sequel to the very successful Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse film, which came out, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago, 2021, something like that.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man, and things are going great.
Oh, yeah, you were supposed to be here at 5.
All right, whatever.
Whatever?
Wow.
Whatever?
I think it was one of the first movies that we saw after the pandemic started to go down a little bit.
You're right.
Yeah,
because after that was Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, which
kicked off
this channel. Hey. Yeah, so Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is starring Haley Stanfield, who's plays Gwen Stacy. You've got Shamik Moore, who plays Miles Morales. Daniel Kaluuya, who plays Spider-Punk. Oscar Isaac, who plays Miguel O'Hara, or Spider-Man 2099.
2099.
Yeah. Jake Johnson as Peter Parker Spider-Man, or Family Man, as I call him. Brian Tyler Henry as Miles Morales' dad, who's Jefferson Davis. Somehow that became a thing.
They named him Jefferson Davis, and nobody saw that.
Just a black character named Jefferson Davis. I mean,
yeah.
No, but all right, whatever. So Issa Rae plays Spider-Woman. You've got Jason Schwartzman, who plays Spot. Lauren Velez, who plays Rio Morales. And I mean, there's a lot of characters in this movie. A lot of good actors, I feel like, are in this movie. And it's a very interesting dynamic that they all have because it's a lot of different things going on. There's a lot of different... I mean, this movie, visually speaking, is breathtaking. And I mean that in both good and not so great ways. And I'll say that, there's a lot of visual things that the directors do that are kind of like, oh my God, we weren't sitting up close. We were far away from the screen. There was still some stuff that was happening. I was like, what?
Visually assaulting.
Yes, there you go. That's a good way to put it.
I watched this movie 50 times. I'm still gonna see new things 50 times because I was like, I wasn't even looking at that part of the screen.
I mean, they literally define words on screen. And you ain't got a prayer of reading them in the time that they give you to watch. Not a prayer. You're the fastest reader in the world. And it's just and there's an action scene, and then there's a little thing on the bottom that describes what they just talked about.
They would They would do blurbs from the little windows of comics. If you read a comic book, they would be like, this happened in episode, comic book number 45, Bob, or this happened in this episode. This is okay. they're doing it on screen while stuff is going on, but there's too much. I feel like in Clockwork Orange when he's got his eyes. Just
yeah.
Don't
get me wrong. It doesn't ruin the movie, and they don't do it over and over again.
No.
It happens multiple times, but it's not like every 5 seconds or something. But it is like, oh my god, like how
my eyes.
You can't keep
my huge underdeveloped subterranean eyes.
Yeah.
Like
you really do feel like you're getting kind of punched in the face at some points of it. The colors and the style, this I know why they're doing it. In some scenes that are dialogue heavy, the characters will literally like just the background will just start changing colors. Like you'll be like, okay, so they're in this room talking. Wait, what? What's happening?
Is anybody else?
Is it red in here? So it's red now.
Am I having
same character?
Am I tripping right now?
But it's red. Am I drunk?
The walls
I'm
are
not
dripping.
drunk.
The walls are dripping, and nobody else sees this.
Yeah,
nope.
It really does. So sometimes that sort of stuff that happens in the film, I understand why they're doing it. A lot of times they do it because it's an artistic choice. There's some sort of aggression or dialogue back and forth between the characters that's causing these changing colors, designed to show the audience what's happening in the mood and all that stuff. That's great. But to your eyes, it can be a little bit like, oh my god, oh my god,
like it's so beautiful and so vast that it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Is what we're trying to say as far as that.
Yeah.
The story itself, Spider-Man has always been a story of both tragedy and hope. And this Spider-Man story is no different than any of the rest of them. And so that just being said, the characters, the only thing I would say is that the 15-year-olds don't act like 15-year-olds in the end of the Spider-Verse, but I know why. But I just know Spider-Gwen couldn't have been that fun and just been in my airspace, and I was 15. Like there's no way. That wouldn't happen.
Let's not forget.
Leave it in the comments. Somebody back me up. There's no way.
Let me tell you, there's literally scenes in this movie where the blocking is real.
Sorry.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, boy.
I'm Miles' mom.
Yes, and then like yes. The block is real. It's like straight up like thunder from Big Trouble in Little China.
Man.
Yeah, so that's real. I think that the movie, like, if we can get into it a little bit, just a little bit of the story. So we all know what happened in Into the Spider-Verse. Miles Morales destroys the machine that Kingpin's putting out there.
We should put a blurb up there just explaining what happened in the last episode.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we did
Yeah. So I mean, he does that. He destroys the machine. Kingpin gets sucked in, and we're just gone. Kingpin's no longer an issue, and now we're moving on to the next part of it. But it turns out that there were some side effects from these, and the side effects for one of I think the most interesting character probably in the movie is the bad guy that it starts out being. He starts off very uninteresting, but he becomes more and more interesting as the story goes on.
So are you like a cow or a Dalmatian?
I am the Spot. That's not funny.
Don't do that.
And that is what leads you to the actual main plot of the film. Before that, it's really just he's kind of a means to an end. But when you figure out what's going on with that character, then it leads into the second act. The second act is a totally different movie than what you find in the first.
Completely different film.
Yeah, because the first part doesn't even start there. We start with Gwen Stacy. The movie starts with Gwen Stacy.
Exactly.
There's not a title crawl for probably about 15 minutes.
Easily 15, 20 minutes in the movie, and I'm like, oh, okay, now, we are here to see this other thing.
Yeah, it was a little weird how it got started. I understand what they were doing. They built up to it. They took their time. And it kind of made sense for why the rest of the plot was the way it was. You can't have this movie without putting that Gwen Stacy part in there. So I understand why they did it after the fact.
Now, here's what people are here for. Now, here's the thing. We're talking about plot and Gwen Stacy and character development and all that, okay, and colors. But if you're a Spider-Man fan, was the web swinging and slinging any good? That's what people is interested in.
Really?
Man, listen. The Spider-Man 2 that was on the Xbox and PS2.
Oh, okay.
change the game. We are interested in web slinging and web swinging. And if your web slinging and swinging is trash, I don't care how good your plot is in a Spider-Man game. Ain't nobody gonna play your game no more because we are used to open world swinging.
We've all come a long way since that original Spider-Man series of crawling up the wall. No.
Oh, yeah!
I meant the old 1970s.
Yes, that's Spider-Man.
Up the wall.
Now, we got to give a shout out just in the middle of this review right now to Spider-Man versus Kingpin on Sega Genesis.
Man, ain't nobody beat up more people than that Kingpin on that game. Kingpin was left, right, people. Just cracking you across.
You wish you would.
He
was nuck if you buck. Kingpin version. Kingpin edition. Kingpin
that's one of the hardest villains who ever was. Just busting you in your mouth.
Come on here and swing it. Busting you down. Anyway, back to the review.
Yeah,
so when it comes to the Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse, like the second one, my favorite Spider-Man of all time, unapologetically, is Miguel O'Hara.
Miguel O'Hara. The whole thing was his idea.
What's a guy got to do to join this spider team?
You can never be part of this.
Don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and the little nerd back on Earth 1999-99.
Yeah, that's my Spider-Man. I love him deeply and dearly. That's my dude. In fact, they took so many other Spider-Man powers from him and gave them the other Spider-Men in other movies, and the geeks of the world noticed, but nobody else did, to the point where, like, y'all don't even know how OP this guy is. He's my favorite of the Spider-Man characters, and the part that he plays in the film was just a little bit, I was like, I've waited all this time to see you. I waited all this time to see you, and you didn't do what I wanted you to do, because come on, man, it's me. But I think they're going to the run length of this film. It's a little bit longer than what you're thinking it's going to be.
Yeah.
So we started noticing.
Yeah.
But we're still here.
So we're gonna have to okay. So here's the deal. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to give spoilers, like a hard spoiler warning for this movie. I will say this, like, if you want to fast forward to where we just tell you what it is, I'll try to put that time indicator in here when I, figure out what that's going to to after editing. I feel like we have to. Okay. In order to go forward with the plot from here, we kind of have to get into spoilers. So this is going to be the part where we talk about spoilers. If you would not like to hear this part, go forward. We are going to talk about spoilers. If you haven't seen the film and you would like to, this is the spoiler. All right, so spoilers. Here's what's going down. In this film, first of all, so the generalized plot, the Spot is the bad guy that, he's basically an instant hole ban is what I call him. You just punch through him. You can punch through his body. You can dive through his body. He's got these spots all over him that allow him to teleport. And he starts off in, like, the dumbest way possible. Like, he's trying to steal an ATM machine from a convenience store. Like, he's trying to steal from inside of it using his little teleportation, holes. Yes. And that's how he starts as a villain. And it seems like, that's kind of a joke. That's funny. That's played for yucks. But, as it goes on and you figure out what he can do with this power, it's kind of terrifying, and it starts to actually balloon into the next part of the movie. Basically in the movie 2 that begins in the second act. So here's the deal with this movie, and we could just say this entirely right now.
Here we go.
This movie is not going to be it does not have a conclusion because it is not the last movie.
You got it.
Yeah, they pulled us in. You go see it, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is going to be great. Nope, there's going to be another one called Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they got us.
So it's a part 1 of a part 2.
I feel like we got Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Yes, we did. But it's better than Pirates of the Caribbean 2, I will say that.
That I'll give you.
Yeah, because this one wasn't just a hollow mess that just had a bunch of setup for some stuff and then randomly brings characters back from the dead who definitely died in the last one.
Definitely, and Davy Jones was way too cool of a character to waste.
I mean, they threw
But R.I.P. that film. franchise series anyway.
I mean, they're still making it, which is hilarious. Anyway, so Miles Morales, picks up. He fights the Spot. He beats him. He's thinking, "Oh, I beat bad guys."
Beats him nonchalantly.
Yeah, and he still can't. He still can't tell. He hasn't told his parents. He's still trying to figure that out. Somehow his parents don't seem that he's like the same size, build of Spider-Man, all this stuff, and
or that when he uses his adult voice,
yeah, he
sounds just like his son would sound.
Yeah,
if he used an adult voice.
I mean, I know you have an adult son, and I'm pretty sure you would know exactly
if
who he was.
If he called me on the phone and was acting like this,
if he was
I don't think I would be able to tell.
If he was being a fake superhero,
who he was.
I think we could definitely see.
He could definitely use the subterfuge of his voice and fool me.
Yeah, nonsense.
But
it's whatever, man. Okay, Clark Kent's got glasses on, and everybody acts like they don't know who he is.
Actually, Clark Kent's glasses.
Yeah, shut up, nerds. It's stupid. It's always been stupid. It's dumb.
It put
all
out
right.
a hypnotic field.
Jeez, it's like the Green Lantern. Oh, they can't see my cheekbones. They won't know who I am.
Ooh. Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh.
We ain't forgot Reynolds.
Wow. I don't think.
Yeah. You know what? For what he did in Deadpool too.
Yeah, the fact that he's like made fun of himself that way and all those things. That's why he's great. That's why he's allowed to.
So there are multiple Spider-Man. Here's the thing about this. There's so much stuff going on that we really couldn't give you, like the spoilers that we give you.
Yeah,
were just that. There's so much happening in here from past video games, from past movies, from the comics, from it's all going on at the same time. There's even the memes that happen.
Yeah, the pointing. And
my goodness, that was the way they did that was.
That was great.
That was outstanding.
And I like the fact that the movie does pay homage to every version of Spider-Man that exists. I mean, from like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to all that stuff is in there. There's cameos in this movie. They do a good job with humor. They do a good job with balancing it. I don't feel like any of the humor was done to the point where it was a detriment to the movie, though. There's been a lot of that lately, like with Thor and other movies, where they just try to make everything so fun, so funny that the serious stuff doesn't matter. No, this movie it definitely does. This is another thing I'm kind of relating it almost to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Is trauma is at the heart of this movie. Trauma and what it does to these characters. Because everybody knows, Spider-Man, with great power, Peter. Shot.
Uncle Ben, not
immediately.
Again. No, not
shot
again.
again. He shot again.
Again.
You know what I'm saying? Bow.
And
sorry, Uncle.
So that
Can't make
is the thing about this story. Now that we're in spoiler territory, I can just be honest with you. It's fatalism. Are you just because you are this? Your fate, you're going to lose somebody. You have to be this thing.
Miles, being Spider-Man is a sacrifice. You have a choice between saving one person and saving every world.
Send me home.
I can't do that.
I can do both! Spider-Man always...
Not always.
What about Uncle Ben?
If not for Uncle Ben, most of us wouldn't be here.
That's what, the Spider-Man character is. That's what it is. And you've got my character. My character is the one who's trying to manipulate things and change it back because he wants the family he's not supposed to have. That wasn't his family.
Well, when he tried to do that, what ended up happening was...
He got the spider out of that universe, and the spider's number is 42?
Yeah.
42?
I mean, they're not trying to hide it, man. They're not trying to hide it.
42.
Yeah. They're doing what they're trying to do with this whole story, and this is where we get into real spoilers about the plot. So, basically... in the universe that the spider comes from that bit Miles Morales, the Miles Morales that we all saw get bit, that came from a universe where there is no Spider-Man. So that spider bites him. There is no Spider-Man in that universe. And so because of that, his father, Jefferson Davis, Officer Davis, is dead. And so that Miles Morales is a bad guy. He's the Prowler from the last movie. Now, what he's gonna do, we'll have to find out in the next movie because they didn't really. That was the big reveal, so that's a big spoiler. But I thought that the way they handled it as a movie, if you go see this just as a movie and you don't have any pre-existing notions, which seems to be impossible because Spider-Man, I mean, even if you grew up in Japan and you watch Supidaman.
This is Spider-Man.
Yeah, the one with the giant robot for no reason.
誰だお前は地獄からの使者スパイダーマン黄金竜だ行くぞスパイダーストリング Change Leopard.
Just.
He had a giant robot named Leopardon.
Jump
Why?
And just land on the shoulder.
Why?
Yeah.
We don't know
We
because Japan is Japan, and that's what goes down there. All right. Are you a superhero? You got a big robot.
Shout out to Nippon.
It is what it is. You know, we all live our thing. So, yeah. So, but so that becomes kind of the thing, and it's if you go see it as just a bare bones movie.
Yeah.
As a movie, it is competent. It is smart.
Yep.
It is a good script.
Yep.
It's not terrible. But if you go see it with the idea of like I understand why you feel the way you feel. It's your favorite Spider-Man.
I've been waiting years. Every time they start to get close to, they might hint the post-credit scene in the Inner Spider-Verse like made me like, yo, they finally about to give my dude a shot. And he gets there, and he's the antagonist. And I know why, and here's why. He's too cool. He's way too cool. When I saw Spider-Man 2099, I never liked Peter Parker as Spider-Man for this. I'm not putting up with half of the crap that he does. Like, as an individual,
just as a human being, like
not gonna put up with half of the crap.
I'm not gonna have J. Jonah Jameson talk bad about me for multiple decades on end when I'm literally the thing that's keeping his whole paper roll.
Yeah, you're not about to just keep talking wet to me.
I'm not about to have trouble paying my rent when I just saved 18 armored cars from getting, from getting robbed. Like, no, I'm getting them ducats. All right, the bread. I'm saying, look like 10 grand fell off the truck.
Looks like Norman Osborn got robbed.
Man, I know he's the bad guy.
I know he's the bad guy. Looks like Wilson Fisk got robbed.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. Now, on a scale of 1 to 5 Spider-Man emblems.
Honestly, okay, so if I was going to go...
Or Spider-Verse emblems.
Okay, well, just, so the Morales,
Okay, the logo.
So if we're going to go with that, I would honestly say, as a movie, as just going to see a film, I think it was really handled well, considering all the lines of crap you have to do a multiverse thing. It was a little visually jarring at some time, so I might take like a half a star away for that. But as a movie, I'd say 4.5. I'm pretty high on this one. I thought it was a solid watch. Now, will that rating stand? That's going to depend on the third movie. Whatever. So,
I will give this movie a 4 out of 5 for just this. I didn't know it was a two-parter until the end. I don't like that. If you're going to do something, call it part 1 or let me know that there's going to be something like that in there and doing that, okay, because now I have to go watch your other movie.
Yeah.
Even if this movie was bad.
Yeah, I got to watch.
Take all my wife and kids to go pack up and go see that.
Yeah, I got to watch one half of your final story, of the final act. I don't get a final act.
So I take away half a star for that one, and the other half is, come on, my boy, Miguel O'Hara,
Yeah. So overall, I guess what we're saying with our ratings is, it wasn't a bad film. There are many worse things you could do with your time. I thought it was worth watching. I thought they did a good job. But for these story elements and these kind of these changes and all the visual stylings and it's a little jarring. Like, and all this is pending on what that next movie does. Because if that next movie's trash, it's going to destroy all the good stuff that this movie built up. I thought the movie, like I said, all the different Spider-Man, all this different stuff they had to do. I mean, even Spider-Punk is all in different styles. Like, he's done like a torn up
he looks like paper mache. Like, he looks like a paper mache Spider-Punk.
I thought the movie was worth watching. I think people should go see it. And like I said, it's pending that third movie, though. Because we all know you can have a great second movie, Matrix.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, like I said, you can have a great second movie, and that third movie, if it's a turd, nobody cares. Like, it's just, sorry. Like, so, you got to stick the landing, okay? Because if you do that, oh, that's a great routine. Oh, he's all on the floor. Oh, she did. Oh, she broke her ankle. Oh, my God, her ankle.
I feel so bad. It's the worst. God, so much. Real? It doesn't even look real.
You can see the bone.
Shooting star.
You see the bone. Oh my God.
Rewind it.
Oh my God. So, I'm just saying, it really just depends on how this next movie goes. There is so we'll say that. I say you're right. It's more a 4 than a 4.5. I gave it to you. You're right. It's more a 4 than a 4.5.
You see that, America?
You win.
You see that?
You win. I give it to you. I fully give it to you. It's more a 4 than a 4.5. So I think that, but like it really just depends on that next movie. If the next movie, are you gonna be all right? If the next movie is good, then this rating can be revised. But if the next movie is trash, then this rating could be revised down.
What I will say is that I used to tell my fighters, you have to leave it out on the mat. You can't leave it up to the judges. You can't leave it to them.
Yeah.
So what this two-parter has done is it's left it up in the air. Now it's depending on somebody else totally. So it has to be congruent with this film. Otherwise, we don't know.
Yeah.
Like the story is not going to be complete.
Can't stop me now!
You can't run forever, kid!
I can't lose one more friend.
Miguel, this isn't what we talked about!
You knew?
I have no idea what you're doing!
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
All stations, stop Spider-Man!
You? What, me?
So it's in the air. Now, I'll tell you what. If the next Spider-Man film is great, I will come back and revive this and make it a file. I'll publicly do it.
When we do Beyond the Spider-Verse, the next movie, when we do that, when we review that, I will say that we're definitely going to make sure to bring this back up.
And if my fans call me out on that, and I haven't done it, but you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed, you can get out of my face. We don't care about your opinion. You like, share, subscribe. Do it now. Anyway, I am Otis Roper.
And I'm Brandon Roper.
And together we are still
the Super Roper Brothers.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate you. Just as a side note, was Hobie and Gwen staying together? Was that what they were talking about?
Yeah, they were saying Hobie and Gwen was staying together. That was part of the joke about it. All right, we're going to move on from that, and it stops right there. and it picks up right here. So, because as we always know, like, look, when I saw Force Awakens, I was like, oh, Force Awakens, this was refreshing. I feel good about this. And then I saw The Last Jedi, and that whole thing is revised down to a 0 for the whole trilogy.
Still haven't seen it.
Look, the whole trilogy, a 0. The Rise of Skywalker, even lower than 0. So it was just all stupid. Now you can just transport stuff with the Force now, right? So the spaceships are just dumb.
He steals the show, whatever he's in, but him and Gwen is staying
together. Oh my God, would you stop? We get it. They're living. They were staying together.
Now Miles didn't do nothing.
Oh my God.
I'm asking, would you trust Hobie?
That's because he's being
Would you trust Hobie around your girl like you trust Miles around your girl?
Honestly, I feel like it would be too conventional for Hobie to actually engage in anything. He'd be like, oh, that's not punk rock, and then he wouldn't. I don't know. Look, I'm gonna go move on from this because it's ridiculous. So anyway.
Spider String!
Change the pardon.